Broken Arrow, we're going in for the last mission of the Russian campaign and the last mission of the series.
RIGA will be soon fully under our control, and the United States Marines landing in Pernu has been prevented. We are doing great in the north.
But things are not going great in the south, Colonel. The Suwalki Gap is wide open and the Americans are bringing more and more reinforcements from overseas. We need to relocate our troops to the south as soon as possible.
There is one last task at hand before we can do that. The USMC rear base in Estonia was not located in Pernu, leaving only one option, Kuressaare. This is the last naval air base in the region. Once we control it, the Gulf of Riga will definitely be ours.
You are too slow, Colonel. And you too, Commander. You had all the cards in hand to make this Estonian campaign a lightning victory. Instead of what? You have progressed like slugs, being overly careful when momentum was the key. And while you took your sweet time, we were losing Lithuania.
Watch your mouth, girl! You filled battalion's head with your ideas of glorious battles and lightning victory. See where that led him! I am a decorated officer of the Russian army, and the Soviet army before that. War has been my entire life, so from now on, we will do things as I say, and you will sit and watch. Your father was not a goddamn hero. He died like a fool because he swallowed the same pathetic, heroic crap you've been feeding Batalin all this time.
You will pay for those words dearly. I swear it, Colonel Demidov.
Well, go on then. Do your worst. Kuressaare. So this has been the rear base, from which the US Marines have been deploying their reinforcements into Estonia all alone. Time to cut off the last head of the Hydra.
Well, it looks like we're going up against the US Navy.
Our scouts have identified the first enemy strong points around that large mall. Start your attack in this direction, Commander.
And I've taken the time to organize myself a large platoon here of mechanized infantry. Got the scouts ready. Have a look in the tower, see if there's anything dangerous about.
Assault from the left and flank them. We meet at the airbase. Give me the foul.
And let's bring in some supplies here. We're going to put the ATGM teams in that tower there with our allied units. No sign of the enemy yet. We have a scout vehicle as well. But that's there for the tank platoon that I'm going to build up. Let's move the infantry forward. Take possession of that building. Dropping off supplies for our ATGMs. The MTLB can only carry 2,000 kilos, so it's not going to last very long at all. But the plan, I guess, is not to stay here very long. Alright, the platoon has Sturmoviki, 3 units of Motostrelki, the Vampire RPG, an ATGM, and a grenade launcher system, which are in that tower. And then, of course, their scout unit, which is looking over in the tower. Let's set the BMPs up in a support position as we move to take these buildings ahead.
Here they are. Get ready for battle.
LAV is slightly obscured by the building. Let's take cover. We spotted a truck and an Abrams. Uh-oh. It just got hot very quickly. Just pause in time here for a second. Let's order our Motostrelki to move forward, and we can try and shoot RPGs at this Abrams from multiple angles. And leave the heavy RPG at the back. Our ATGMs have no line of sight on the enemy. BMP's opening fire on a truck trying to run, and LAV's charging our position. So is the second Abrams, and an LAV AT out the back just blasted our Motostrelki. Sturmoviki are taking a lot of damage. We need to pull them out. So is the Vampire. Run into the smoke. Run towards danger. The ATGM hitting the Abrams. And the BMPs are engaging the LAV on the right side. There are 2 LAVs to take care of. And now we are taking artillery fire. That's the worst possible time. We lost a Motostrelki unit. A tank company was just starting to form up, but I need to bring in the artillery. The mortar carrier needs to put some counter battery out. We need to drop our supplies. Sturmoviki need to retreat, so did the Motostrelki. Too late for the Sturmoviki. These guys need to run for their lives. The LAV AT just took a pot shot at our BMP, managed to hit. Moving our vehicle forced our missile to go rogue. We need to reposition. That second ATGM going rogue as well. Just need to keep repositioning. So this artillery doesn't dial us down. We'll have to retreat our infantry for resupply, or I could bring an ambulance closer to their position. They're in very poor shape. Bringing in the replacement units. And let's move this supply forward. It's needed over here. We will burn through it pretty quickly, so let's bring in a truck with a larger cache of supplies. Bring the tanks up. We're not quite ready for combat. We need another tank. Another T-90. And let's get the counter battery ready. We need to take that out before we advance. So let's take a moment to restock. We traded pretty well. We took out heaps of their vehicles for the loss of a couple of infantry units. No vehicle losses. Pull the ambulance out. BMP's back here to pick up a fresh unit of Sturmoviki. We hit the enemy ammo dump. Keep the fire up until we are certain that the mortar is killed. Alright, the tank company's ready. We just need a carrier for this Motostrelki unit, the replacement. So we only lost 2 infantry units. That's not too bad. Pretty good trade. The enemy lost 2 tanks and a bunch of IFVs. Tanks have spotted an LAV crossing the street, unable to hit it. Alright, the mortar carrier is finally down.
Don't waste time, Commander. Use every asset at your disposal. Our success depends on our ability to advance simultaneously.
I know, we're not going too slow. We're being cautious. The BTR is loaded up with our weapons teams. Let's advance them. Put them in the tower next to the scouts. Drop off our supplies here. Another minute or 2 and they will be ready. Replacement unit is ready as well. Let's move this BTR over here to engage the Avenger. We forgot some infantry. Put them back aboard. Mortar carriers are advancing. Well, let's get the weapons teams in. They can start the fight. So the infantry will run up the center, the tanks will run up the main street on the left, and our support vehicles will offer fire on the right hand side. This guy still needs supplies. Where's our truck? Let's put it here so we don't lose that team. got fire from two sides. Let's reposition the BTR. And this one as well can help. And the BMPs can cycle around to the right. The heavy armor can watch this approach here. We have that LAV AT to contend with. And a small team is going to splat our motor jockey, so let's move them fast. BTR is deleting that marine unit. With help from the BMPs. Avenger is down. Let's bring some supplies in for our weapons teams. They took some casualties. Looking good so far. And we're building up a nice stock of points. No air support options available. Alright, repositioning the scout. Pull our truck out and advance the tank, keeping in mind we still have that LAV AT to fight. 4-con stand and no chance. Supplies have arrived for the weapons team. Tanks can advance. Let's bring in another scout unit. You can watch our left side. It's fine, we can absorb one shot. We have supplies that we can capitalize on here. The zone is captured. Let's bring all the infantry over for resupply.
Continue your offensive across the swamps.
And let's go and take those supplies and consolidate them.
The final assault on the air base from there.
There's a small causeway that the enemy could take advantage of, so I'm going to send a scout unit over.
I can transfer some reinforcements from my group. What would be most helpful, Commander?
I guess we could use the tanks. The heaviest tanks you've got. T-90s are capable.
Every 10 years, someone claims their latest gadget will mark the end of tanks. And yet they are still rolling.
T-14s.
Be careful with our new T-14, though.
The parade pony.
Still in field trials. The enemy will throw everything they have to stop your advance, and they have plenty of helicopters available. So, make sure to bring along some anti-air units.
Anti-air units. We can do that.
Cruise missiles incoming from
American
ships. Make sure you have short
Tor, please, now.
to intercept them and stay on the move.
Grab the supplies and run for your life. Greedy, greedy, grab the supplies. Run! Ooh, it's slamming down, taking out the remainder, but we managed to sneak those supplies away. The crew are in shock. But we need them. Mount up. We can't sit around waiting for that to happen again.
Aircraft have been engaged by surface-to-air missiles. Air support will remain unavailable until they are eliminated.
Let's bring in the Russian rocket artillery. I'm pretty sure that's got a low range, but it is devastating. And we'll see if we can use it to shoot across that lake or the river and try and hit that anti-air position.
The Americans are landing reserve forces on the shore. Prepare for counterattacks.
Let's move our anti-air systems up and turn them on. I'm quite fond of the Tor. Don't know why, I just like how it fires them vertically. And then they take off at a rapidly different angle than they did before. Like a two-stage motor sort of thing. The coastal specialization has one that's towed by an amphibious vehicle. It's like a little train, it's cool. The same vehicle can tow an artillery and a supply wagon as well. 30 tons worth of supplies. Should we bring in a Scout T-90? Try and split this tank company up. Right, weapons teams are set up so that we can stop any counterattack. Scouts should see them. Let's bring in another scout. The BMO. And just put it there to watch that road. Right, our infantry platoon are doing really well today. But we're not yet ready to cross that river or causeway. Just going to watch this road with a dedicated scout unit with them. BTR needs to stay here with the weapons teams. The truck can go back and pick that up. Let's send our artillery units to see if we can take out that air defense battery. Not much happening on this side. We could use amphibious units to cross there, but I think we might take the direct approach and then swing left and take out the second objective. Going to infiltrate this scout unit as close as possible. Good shots there across the capture point. Would it be worth crossing there? That is the question. I could send a scout unit across just to have a look around. Alright, let's concentrate on the air defense because then we may get access to aircraft ourselves. Dismount. Try and get eyes on. We can see a lot of units patrolling around. I think we might stay here on the corner. And then I'll park the tanks up here for now. I might keep them all together just for the sheer firepower. 5 tanks and a scout should do a lot of work. We can't really spread them out. There aren't many options for that at the moment. We'll have a dedicated infantry push across this side. And once the artillery have completed their fire mission, they can come back here and support the assault by taking out that shopping complex. Here comes the counterattack. We get first strike. Various different types of ATGM screaming across that river. Not quite in range, but we'll order the fire mission. It's pretty close. We have a scout with them. Let's see if we can get eyes over there. We'll bring some resupply for them because they're going to burn through it. Falcon's trying to cross, but they have been spotted. Truck, go home. Truck, advance. For our AA. Tanks took minor damage from that little skirmish there. I might set up a supply station for the tanks. Oh, we missed the barrage. But like I said, it's effective. Alright, we've got air support now. Good. Let's try and cross this scout unit across that small causeway. Taking a while to take out 4 recon. Free shot there on the AV track. Let's bring up a small supply truck. Come back and fix the T-14. It's taken a scratch. Observation post is damaged. Maybe we can cross on foot. At least we will know what's there. Resupply the artillery. Bring the mortars back. Should I cross there with the vehicle or on foot? Burning through that supply. Let's bring in another one for them. Half size. MTLB. What have we got? SU-25s and SU-35s. One of each. Not. Let's go SU-25s all around. And let's bomb these buildings here that look like they might hold a garrison. Yes, we have bombs. We can do that. We killed something. And another thing. Let's try and get low. And we can afford a strafing run with rockets too. Where was the man pad? I think it was there. I won't risk the first one that got damaged. Stay high so he doesn't have to do a pop-up. Let's bring in chopper supplies, it'll be faster. I didn't order that MTLB from before, and we lost the SU-25. Shot down by an Avenger by the look of it. Ooh, crashing into... Is that a C-17? Well, that was worth it then. Denying them the use of a heavy lift aircraft. By accident. Those Marines are about to have their last crayon. Trying to run, we lost sight. They are panicked now as the artillery rains down on them. Let's bring in another SU-25. We've managed to cross the river without much contact. We'll delete this area here. And the SU-25 needs some orders. Too late for a good order, so he's going to get eaten up by the Avenger. Got to get in the habit of giving the orders for the aircraft as soon as they enter the zone, because sometimes its time on target is very short. Just a throwaway unit. That was very effective. Costly but effective. Makes the mortar carrier look amateur in comparison. And our scout vehicle, I must have given a false order. He's coming back to link up with us. An AV track on its heels. BMP's taken sight, popping his own smoke. He's charging through it, so we get a second chance. He might reach the safety of our smoke. Let's advance. Right, the crossing was successful. Let's hold fire and see if we can get eyes on this position. That way our tanks can now offer fire support across the river. You wouldn't want to get this close if you hadn't already leveled the city block, but we did, so let's get in.
Экипаж готов. Машина разведки, слушает.
We could intercept the Avtrack right now. Both sides.
Пехота ждет приказа.
There are two. We have Marine reinforcements moving Motostrelki to intercept them, but the BMPs have got them handled. 3 units of infantry. Nope, just the 2.
Боевая машина пехоты здесь. Мы ведем бой.
Alright, the tanks are taking mortar fire. Let's counter battery.
Готов.
We don't want smoke.
Нас 300
Although that would stop them from shooting, I think.
заряд.
No, it wouldn't. They're mortars. Indirect fire.
Расчет здесь.
Let's level that park.
3. Владею, слушай. Быстрее. Пехота под огнем.
What was that we shot down? Did we shoot something down?
Так точно.
Alright, we captured the first objective.
Ждет приказа.
We have an AT carrier.
Командир, у нас потери.
We had to absorb that ATGM for hours to reach its position. Ah, it was a chopper. Intercepted by the Tor. I just love how the missile screams across at treetop level.
Противовоздушная оборона. Доклад. Уже еду. Минометный расчет.
Why worry about close quarters? Look at that counter battery fire in true Russian style.
Бог войны слушает.
Just level everything.
Минометный
But I don't even think we killed all of the mortars.
Коробочка на приеме. Запускай машину. Транспорт, слушаю.
Things are looking okay. We took some losses, some damage. I think we lost some infantry.
Расчет здесь.
The Su-35 is S superiority.
Боевая машина пехоты здесь. Заводи мотор. ВДВ слушает.
Alright, let's stage up for our next attack. Try and separate these two anti-air systems. Bring some supplies in.
Бронетранспортер на
Move the
связь.
scouts up.
Выдвигаемся. Приказ понял. Едем.
That church is a good place to scout from. We have spotted a marine unit. Su-35 is ready for action. Pretty sure we still have a manpad to worry about.
25-й здесь.
Let's not repeat the mistake. Time on target is very short.
Огнеметный расчет слушает. Приказ понял. Принял. Прием. То есть.
Not very effective.
Пехота здесь.
Alright, come around for a strafing run now with rockets. Razvedka will have to fight the Marines if they get spotted.
Транспорт, слушаю.
But if you hold fire, you can get pretty close, especially with those recon units with high stealth. That building is cleared. Dropping off supplies by heli. Did we get the Avenger in the back line? I'm not sure if we did.
Борт на связи.
We have no more ammo left in the Su-25.
Вертушки здесь. Возвращаемся домой.
And we do not want them to drop a cruise missile on that position. So let's try and burn through those heli supplies quickly.
Тактический грузовик готов к перевозке. Поездка окончена.
And we'll drop that supply in the forest.
На связи. Разведка на.
2 types of AA now.
Карету.
Still pretty close, but that's alright. We want it for maximum missile defense.
Готов к работе. Куда вас довести? Пусть еще
Pull back. No sign of the enemy from our recon teams.
Пехота ждет указаний.
Spoke too soon. Forcon is advancing.
Транспорт.
BTR's a little bit close, but we'll try and engage them with it.
Пехотинцы ждут ваших приказов. Это огневая
Yeah, they got us. There needs to be a ruler function, so I can tell how far away something is without having to... from a certain point to another point. Scout unit's going to go wide. We're trying to encircle the airfield, so we probably want a very wide line. Tank company getting ready to fight into the final objective. Looks like we may have lost one infantry unit, and he is on his way. Try and take some cover behind the buildings. We're almost fully reloaded, so we'll just send a full barrage across the entire zone. Dispersion is very wide. And let's bring in the final piece of our anti-air network. What's happening here? Taking RPGs. Don't hold fire, there's something dangerous in here. The force recon. I think the BMO is pretty resistant to RPGs, actually. It's got lots of... Well, we deleted that. As I was saying, it's got a lot of side defense against heat. Scouts take up a better position. It looks like the zone is pretty free of activity after being hit so hard. We have 2 units of Motostrelki as reinforcements. Turning on the radar. Move up the mortar carriers.
Excellent. The entire city is under our control. There is a large concentration of enemy tanks defending the airfield. Let's strike simultaneously from both directions to force them to expose their side armor.
Okay, I guess we've got 3 ways we could do this. We could hit at them from the bottom of the runway and sort of creep up with our comrade. Or we could go wide and swing into between the objectives and try and split them. Or we could go super wide and attack the point closest to the enemy warship. But that might provoke fire from its main guns. Let's move the scouts a little bit closer, maybe. Take stock of the situation.
We're taking fire from enemy artillery, Commander. They're closer to your position. Take them out.
We would have to get pretty close with our rocket systems. We could send in an SU-25. We have a pretty big stock of points. Chances of air defense are pretty high, but we might get lucky with the strike. Stay low.
Watch out! Another volley of missiles!
Hold fire. The missiles went for our comrade. The mortar carriers might get caught in the open here. SU-25 still loitering. Let's give him an order. Pop up. Oh, they just called in a fighter. 2 fighters. Manpads have hit us twice, and he's turning away from the attack run. Nope. He did it. No luck. The bombs mustn't be very big. That is a lot of cruise missiles. The Arleigh Burke dumping its entire stock of Tomahawks. Will that final manpad seal the SU-25's fate? Nope. Got away. Time to go home. SU-35 trying to clear the air, but he's taking fire from AA systems. Our forces just lined up there perfect for a strike. We'll take a quick restock, split up, and start our advance. I think we'll push up towards the middle, and depending on what sort of resistance we face, I might strike right near the enemy warships and see if we can't shoot them. Oh no, AA system's taking fire. Tanks have got sight. This one only needs a slight breeze and it'll die. Let's bring in a fighter. It's a ground attacker. Long range shots might make contact, and they do. Su-35 turning away, getting low, hitting the burner. Get it back to base. Keep dumping those flares until we're safe. Alright. Let's get our infantry into their carriers. Looks like we have some reserves. Way too far away for the mortar carriers. I'm going to pivot my infantry over to that side to try and get the artillery close enough to take them out. Spread the AA out as well. We have a fresh scout unit by helicopter. Let's try and drop him nice and close. Queue up the order for it to retreat once he's done that. Mortar carriers advance. Tanks here will watch the left flank. Pull the Armata back for some more repair maybe. Bring the repair to the Armata. Enemy chopper. Enemy aircraft. Oh no, all of our AA systems are very close at the moment. Shooting the pilot before he had a chance to deploy his chute. The TOR system has spotted the enemy helo, but we've lost sight. Unfortunate. Send the truck home. We managed to clap that helo. He did drop his infantry. Are the big boys close enough? Nowhere near it. But that tree line might be close enough. Cruise missiles inbound. We have to keep an eye on the stocks of our interceptor missiles. Oh, and hope we don't lose an AA system to a random force recon. Damn it, only one TOR left. Run to resupply, Razvedka. Opening fire with our rocket systems. They are within range. Let's try and get close to this building and dismount our infantry into it. I don't think we got the battery. Right, let's use the smoke while it's here. Oh, enemy fighter. Got our mortars. I think that was an F-35, so we saw him late. Cruise missiles inbound. Let's put it here. Force recon again. BMP taking critical damage. Hit by the tanks on the extreme flank. Not dead though. Manpad taking fire at our helicopter. Dismounting the infantry. Pulling the BMPs back. Lost a helo. Infantry can charge forward. And we'll try and unveil that force recon. BMPs can go wide so they can offer fire support from max range. Just put everyone in this building and we'll work it out when we get there. Sturmoviki setting up a position in the building next door. Spotted the manpad that took out our helo, taking fire from the BMP line. And the enemy artillery has been spotted. He's just outside the fringes of that artillery strike. Now, it was our scout BMP that got hit. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, it wasn't super effective. That's why we don't stack our infantry up for too long. In a single building. Resupply truck. The AA needs to creep forward with us. The Tor system's at half ammo. The cruise missiles are inbound. Pick up those supplies and those supplies. Get in there. Move up to the front line. Dangerous to move them all together like this, especially with a chopper sighted, but we do have heavy AA presence. Got him. Tor system needs a reload before the next fighter comes inbound. These guys are in bad shape. This guy, I should say. There's only one left. 2 major hits on that patrolling tank. I don't think it was enough to kill it. The T-14s have APS, which is great. 3 charges left. Cruise missile inbound. Starting to run low on ammo. One of those motor strelka units is critical, so is the grenade system. Here's that next fighter we were talking about. He's going for my artillery, is he? We got him. Alright, so they have eyes on us. We just don't know where. There's 2 artillery units left. Some of these units are in terrible condition from that bombing run. If we could breach the tree line with the tanks, we would have full view of the runway, but now we are taking fire from the Ali Burke, I think. Yep, 5-inch fire. That'll do some work on you. We need yet more supplies. We're going to have to keep bringing it in by chopper because it's the quickest way.
No more artillery for you today, Pindossi! Keep up the good work, Commander!
Let's replace our Tor system. It'll be a few minutes. Our scout tank is in big trouble. These guys will be without eyes for a little while. Cruise missiles again. We are very close to the enemy air spawn too, so they're going to just be able to drop as soon as they spawn in. Look, man, just like I said. That AA system was almost out of ammo anyway. Its replacement will be here soon. We've got high rises on the right we need to worry about. We need to get close to the shopping complex, drop these supplies, and get them consumed before the next airstrike comes in. Send in another wave. And let's start putting some fire onto one of the objectives and just clear out all the garrisoned infantry. Poor pilot. We've got a cruise missile inbound. Do we have AA coverage? Uh-oh. Yes, we do. Good. Not anymore. That was the last missile. Drop the supplies in the forest. We can't afford for that blob of infantry to get airstriked with a fresh supply package there. We don't have any anti-air coverage at the moment. But we do have Su-25s by the triple. Triple! Bombing strike on all of the objectives and any buildings nearby. Here come the fighters. Can we reply with our own? We can. Tor system has enough missiles to engage until it is deleted by the excellent micro of the AI. Engaging our fighters and dropping bombs. Now we definitely have no AA. We've lost an Su-25. We have Ospreys inbound and we've sighted the Ali Burke. Stay away from that thing. The SM-6 will clap you. And it is trying to clap you with them. And it did clap you with them. Got him. There's a lot going on at the moment. We need more AA. On the way. Rocket artillery needs to hide before they get bombed to oblivion. Close range ATGM managed to hit him in the side. Cruise missiles inbound, no AA coverage, run for your lives. Where's it going? We hit the supply dump. That was funding those javelins. We still have another javelin team here. We'll have to breach through the tree line to get to them. Here comes another bomber. They're going to go for our tank line. Yep. Too bad. You missed. Oh, we took a side shot in the Armata. We lost a T-90M. SU-35's up, but he's not doing much. He's getting engaged by SM-6 again from the Ali Burke. Shot down by an SM-6 again. Cruise missile inbound, another one. This was always the risk going this far, north, close to the ship. It's a large force on the central portion of the runway. Should we bring in the old stuff? Let's do it. Not enough money.
I'm pulling back.
Coward! Never pull back. You've got Battalion to live for. His legacy. Our forces are in disarray. They've taken a fair amount of casualties across the board. But our starting BMP squad's doing really well. Chopper inbound. Still no AA. So this is dangerous for us. Let's just drop it here. Wait. Oh, Tor system's here. Don't sit still though. Aircraft. Don't sit still. No dice on the airstrike for the Americans. We've burned through half of our interceptor missiles already. It's super exposed supply depot. We just need to keep bringing the choppers in. Try and get the Razvedko closer to the other objective and see what's there. ATGM Cornet team engaging with Abrams. One man left to man the system. No ammunition. BMPs will get eaten alive. Cruise missile. We might want to move. Quickly restock these infantry. Get rid of the ammunition. It's a second supply run inbound. We should be able to chew through it quickly before it gets bombed. But it's been a theme through my campaign that if we put frontline supplies, they explode. And we don't mind. Explosions are cool. Bring in a squad of Terminators. Two units destroyed. Come on, come on. Dump it and run. All the full stock infantry back in their vehicles. Vehicles will resupply. We are short a few Motostrelki, are we? No, we're just short on BTRs. Uh-oh. Oh, they got the tanks. Fortunately, not enough damage to do anything to them, really, but their morale is shaken, that's for sure. They continue to engage with the Abrams, but the morale shock's going to affect their accuracy. One of the Abrams looks like it detonated. Scout T-90 is taking damage and needs to smoke. Disengage for now. As we make our push towards the objective, we might stop them from going out in the open and getting shot by that Abrams. Engaging. They're focusing the scout. Let's pull him out. Flanked by 4-con, our infantry are engaging. High explosive shell screaming through the building. Oh, the Terminators, where did you come from? Why are you over there? We just lost them all. We've just come in from a flanking reinforcement point I didn't realize was there. That's unfortunate. Oh no, our infantry getting smashed. We've managed to capture the point at least. Tor system engaging the enemy helicopter. We lost the scout.
Continue the assault. We'll drive them into the sea.
We've got points but no aircraft. ATGM team is finished reloading. Looks like we may have lost an armata at some point. There's a lot going on at the moment. Aircraft shot down, thankfully. It bombed one of our anti-aircraft systems. Force fire on the building to try and kill what's in there. All weapons, including the grenades. Come on. Yeah, we lost an armata. It must have happened a while ago because he's almost ready for another one to come back onto the field. That bombing strike might have got it. I didn't notice. Two choppers, a scout, some motor strelki, some flamethrower guys, shock troopers, and a grenade system. Let's see if we can just dump them in. Oh, scout just got eliminated. Armata and T-90 are engaging with an M1A1. Our cowardly comrade is not helping at all. Tor system has 6 missiles left. Enemy LAV engaged. Thank you very much for the supplies. Here comes an F-35. We don't have the radar on our new AA system. Trying to bomb our infantry, they missed. And the F-35 unable to escape our net. Here come the choppers. Just shoot this building with all your weapons. Here comes the horde. It's going to rush them to the building. We have to be careful of Falcon in the... Whoa! Is that artillery? Oh no, that's the ship. Run! Can we try and bombard the ship? It's outside the map, I won't be able to target it. That's not fair. I want to drive my artillery right up to the coast and shoot them. Well, maybe not up to the coast, but you get the idea. All of our infantry just got eliminated while I was trying to do this. You cannot shoot the ship. Confirmed. Although the aircraft nearly crashed into it. Wait, can we shoot the ship?
The air base is ours. The last remaining enemy forces are retreating toward their ships. Don't give them a chance to re-embark. The ships are leaving. Don't let them escape. I'm transferring all our anti-ship missile platforms to your
We're too close to danger now. This ship's going to annihilate us.
Helicopters, Tupolev bombers. Throw everything we've got at them. Sink those ships.
What have we been given? 3,000
Delivered
points.
order, Commander.
Tu-22s.
What? Why would we do that?
Su-25s.
This is part
Ooh,
of an agreement
Catrans.
we're currently negotiating with the Americans. We're letting their ships leave in exchange for concessions.
I'm pretty sure the Catrans have cruise missiles. Uh-oh.
The moment the ships are out of the range, they will go back on their promises.
No.
On the contrary, destroying their fleet will strengthen our position.
Your opinion on the matter wasn't
What did I think was going to happen? They were
reflected
going to automatically
in the
attack.
order
I
from
forgot to
above.
give the order.
So do your duty and stand down.
No
You know
time.
what? I doubt that. It's pretty clear you've had your own agenda for quite a while to pursue your pitiful vengeance against me. I rather think that you're trying to trick me to failure and use me as your scapegoat. Destroy those ships, Commander.
It's not giving the order.
Don't do that, Commander. Following this order would be treason. Don't help this imposter jeopardize our negotiating.
Our Catrans are here. Don't get too close, goddammit. We just got murdered because I didn't give the order to launch the cruise missiles. We have 6 available. Yes, U-25 trying a bombing run. Come on, fire them. Hit the stern of the landing ship. Beautiful. What's the range? You need 1,000 meters of clearance. This landing ship's in big trouble if we hit the front of the ship.
One ship destroyed,
Yes.
one more to go. Glad to see you're siding with me, Commander. The past is the past, and winning this war is more important than any petty personal grudges.
Would I have had to
You
fight
made a
him?
big mistake, Commander. Now your fate is bound to that of the Colonel.
Yeah, I reckon I would have had to fight him, which would have been painful. Alright, everyone mount up and go home. We can need the points back. Go home. What have we got access to? The Iskanders. Well, they're already here. Fire the missiles! We're going to have to lead a fair way. That's probably not enough. 3 more on the field.
The ships are escaping.
Oh no!
Do something, Commander! Don't tell me you're siding with this manipulative bitch!
No.
Yes, I stole her father's memoirs, but that was more than 30 years ago. Life was tough back then. After the fall of the Soviet Union, the country was in chaos. We weren't eating our fill. I needed the
We missed.
money, and people needed heroes and glorious war stories. So everyone was happy with it, including the higher-ups who knew all along. They let it slide because it served a purpose.
Oh dear. Out of money. We've got all of our troops retreating. We have 3 cruise missiles on the Catrans. Tu-22 will do the order properly this time. We're closer, so we shouldn't have to lead too much. I don't think. Go back to base. We need the money. Think we might have a hit here. Excellent. 3 major hits on the Ali Burke. The Catrans can finish the job. Jeez, that'll be cool to use in your specialization. Ooh, and the Ali Burke has been destroyed.
Ship destroyed. Great job, Commander. So, how exactly are the Americans going to negotiate now without their fleet to intimidate us, huh?
Send another one. Well, that was the final Russian mission. We've completed America, we've completed Russia. That's the end of the series. Let's see how the war wraps up. Just want to say thank you very much for joining me. Thank you very much for watching the series. And unfortunately, we didn't earn any of the medals because we didn't let the ships escape and we didn't kill them with direct fire. Let's see the outcome of this war in the Baltic. My name is Ty. Thanks for watching.
After less than a month of conflict, this war that doesn't want to be called a war has already taken a heavy toll on its belligerents. Casualties number in the thousands, if not tens of thousands, provoking indignation among civilians who fail to understand the reason for the conflict. In Moscow, as in Washington and throughout all of Europe, demonstrations for peace are being organized, bringing together hundreds of thousands of people. Special diplomatic envoy Miller, mandated by Washington to find a way out of this conflict, spoke today after talks in Saudi Arabia with his Russian counterparts. Let's hear him speak.
In order to avoid a nuclear escalation between our two countries and to stop this appalling bloodbath as soon as possible, we succeeded in agreeing with our Russian counterparts, after bitter negotiations, to the establishment of a demarcation line on the Daugava River between what we will henceforth call the northern and southern Baltic states. It will be the responsibility of the newly formed European Army to enforce this line of demarcation, so American troops can redeploy to the Pacific to meet the growing security threats in this part of the world. As a sign of appeasement, we also wanted to ensure that those responsible for this conflict would be brought to justice in their respective countries. Namely, General Bennett, who has already been relieved of his duties and is awaiting trial by court-martial. Lieutenant Colonel Williams, who distinguished herself during this conflict, will act as interim chief of staff during this transition period. On the Russian side, Colonel Demidov is expected to serve a prison sentence in an Arctic penal colony.